Let's go. Here we go. It's the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey, here on the recap. 24 hours later, the Bears making big moves on day one of free agency. The White Sox make a surprising move just minutes ago down in Glendale, sending Colson Montgomery to AAA. The Cubs open the season 1 week from today in Japan. A lot to talk about. NFL free agency still ongoing. A lot of moves that were made yesterday, both that impact the Bears, obviously the ones that they added, and throughout the division and throughout the league. And then there's still more moves to be made. Like where's Aaron Rodgers going to play? Do people even care? Certainly the teams that are in the mix for him. Daniel Jones goes to the Indianapolis Colts on a 1-year deal. So the Bears, here are the big moves. In case you're just catching up or we're hiding under a rock, we got Drew Dahlman, right? That's the one that got everybody going. It happened as we took off here yesterday on the Recap Lunch Hour. The Bears had signed Dahlman, and after we signed off, they got Dayo Odobayingbo and defensive tackle Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett was the real massive surprise because he was cut loose. A franchise icon, as he's dubbed, down in Atlanta for the Falcons. By the way, I just realized that we don't even have our recap logo up there. Let's get that up there. Our franchise icon, Grady Jarrett, is now a Chicago Bear. An aging, is he over at the age of 30? Yes. Does he still have a lot of if you watch any film on Grady Jarrett, the dude can still make some stuff happen. Former All-Pro. A lot of people think he's underrated. And then Odeyingbo, you look at the deal and you wonder, wow, gosh, he's coming off a 3-sack season. The ceiling, he's a high ceiling guy. Sometimes that scares me, but free agency, if you are an offensive tackle or an edge, you are going to get paid. And especially if you're young. And the Bears just upgraded 3 spots that needed to happen. Not were optional, 3 spots that needed to happen. Just if Rodgers comes to the Steelers, I'll be 110% a Bears fan until 2026 or later. I'm actually intrigued by the idea of Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh because I don't think Jess will be able to hold the cards as much as he did in New York because Mike Tomlin won't allow it. And certainly with the receiving options that you have, it makes for an awfully good. And Pat Freiermuth as a tight end, there's something there. But yeah, Pittsburgh's got to find a future quarterback. Jess, Bears have so much going for them this offseason. Hope they can make all these pieces and put them together at the start of the season. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. So, look, Dave, what's up? Here we go. Bears selling off season hope again. So, Dave, there are people who think like you, man. Like there are people who don't want to hang off-season championship banners. And that's what a lot of people after one day are doing. Breck Bear knows. He sent me a text this morning. Matter of fact, just to show you confirmation, Breck Bear, my guy, just because he stirs the pot, this is the text I got from Breck Bear this morning. Off-season champs, 2025, Ben Johnson, like everybody they've listed, top 10 pick in the draft. That's a text from my guy, Breck Bear. That's how I know he loves me. Swayze, dude. Wayne, no matter where Rodgers goes, he's a cancer, definitely on the downswing of his overpaid career. I know we don't like the Packers here, but Aaron Rodgers was one of the tops to ever do it when he was in Green Bay. Okay. My guy, Chef Paul, there he is. He bought a point on your pick yesterday. Holy hell, kid. I did not. We got hooked. The old hook got us. For those of you who laid the 3.5 last night with Robert Morris, stay tuned. Stay tuned on Robert Morris. That's all I'll say. But Chef Paul, the smart man that he is, bought it down. That's 6 in a row. You're getting into steak territory. Hey, Chef Paul, it's 7 in a row then if you won yesterday because you got to go back to the following Friday where we cashed Purdue, swept last week, and got one yesterday. That would be 7 in a row if you cashed it. OD, Bears got to make it happen like our fire bets. No doubt about it. If the Bears aren't going to make it happen, we will right here on the recap bet of the day, which is coming later in the show. And I appreciate all the talk and the pomp and circumstance. I kind of doubled down on Robert Moore. I got a little greedy yesterday. Not going to lie. It happens. When you're winning, you can get a little greedy. Bradley, How you feel about the Vikings free agency? I think the Vikings have been sneaky good. I really do. I like the deals. Let me pull up some of the deals that the Vikings have made. Got the free agent tracker here. Leonard Floyd, by the way, just got released. Would you be interested on a specialist type deal for Leonard Floyd? I mean, he's got some left in the tank, especially as a third down guy. I agree that the Vikings do have to go way down here because they've been doing. Now they did not get Daniel Jones for quarterback help. The Colts just continue to mess with the Anthony Richardson situation, which is, it's almost laughable that they can continue to do it. So the Vikings lost out, but they got Will Fries, big deal. I mean, he got 5 for 88. And it also, by the way, made me think, man, I'm happy that the Bears, that's a big deal. That's the guy I thought the Bears might end up getting. There's a couple other. They got a safety. Jimbo, very good day yesterday. But again, pump the brakes. I'm not hanging an offseason banner. We got to see how this plays out. I will say, great free agency now this draft will be lit. Here's what I'll say about the Bears free agent moves. I'm glad yesterday didn't start with the Bears signing Chris Godwin and then a backup center and a safety. Because he would have been like, wait, what the hell's going on? They need a third receiver. They don't need that guy. So they went out and prioritized the positions on the football field that made the most sense and were the biggest need. That's the part I like. It seems for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, that your head coach, your DC, and your GM might just be on the same page. Maybe that's the case. Jess, Bobby Moe, which is Robert Morris, where those of you from outside of Pittsburgh came back last night in OT. That's the best way to start the Mattis. They were down 4 at the half. This is how you know you're all in on our bets. And I looked at them like, what do I like the situation or do I not? They were shooting 39%. Oakland was shooting 58% and was up 4. I was like, man, I really like this spot. Now, some iffy free throw shooting cost those of us who laid the 3 and a hook. But that's why I like Robert Morris even more tonight, which I'm alluding to the bet of the day. What do we do with the number 10 pick? Trade down for more picks, take the best player available, Wayne. I said I'd have to wait until free agency played its hand, which it kind of has. I think you've allowed yourself to be pretty damn flexible at number 10 with either scenario. You're not trading down just to trade down. You're going to trade down if it makes sense. And you could accrue more capital if you think the player 3, 4, 5 slots down is comparable to the guy you're getting at 10. All this Ashton Genty talk, every mock draft I've seen of late has him going at 6 to the Vegas. So let's pump the brakes. I also I just don't think the Bears are there yet to be drafting a running back at 10. Sorry, my guy Guff, the Bears overspent on the D line. Hey, you have top draft picks. I think draft the D line, not spend on. Let me be clear on this, Brad. Grady Jarrett and the Falcons wanted to stay with each other. Grady wanted to stay in Atlanta. Atlanta was trying to rework the deal, go back to the combine. I read a story about him at the combine, and they were like, we want this guy here. We love him. And then it got to actual free agency day, and it didn't. He's got more in the tank. I am totally fine with the Grady Jarrett. Just for the veteran move alone, you could still draft defensive line, by the way, which I expect them to. But I like the move for Grady Jarrett. I do. And by the way, I said this yesterday, free agency, when you don't draft and develop your own players, you have to overspend in free agency to acknowledge the mistakes. That's what free agency in the NFL is. You failed to draft and develop a center since Roberto Garza, almost all the way back to Olin Kreutz. Now you got to pay because you can't have the same crap that you've had the last 5 years. Same with your interior guards. You got to pay and maybe overpay in draft capital or money, guys who are aging, so you can make sure your quarterback, who you have under a rookie deal for 4 more years, isn't getting chased out of the damn stadium 68 times a year on his back. When you don't acknowledge the offensive line, you have to pay. Same with the defensive line. And that's what the Bears did yesterday. And that's why I like it, because they actually address spots of need. Godfather's coming in for a high-flying top rope on Tom Ricketts here. Bregman would have answered a lot of questions. Let Shaw develop at a good pace. But no, his cheapness strikes again. Have fun in Japan. Tom, by the way, have you guys seen, just to throw more salt or like more gas on the fire here, have you seen Alex Bregman's spring training? I mean, it is, let me pull this up real quick. I want to tell you, because here's his spring training. He's 9 for 21 with 2 homers, 8 RBI, 429, 500. His OPS is 1405. Oops. Swayze. Vikes are here to stay. Now it all depends on JJ. They need to see if he can really play at this level. I say this. They got a top 3 coach in football. Kevin O'Connell is a dude. He is an absolute star. If JJ is a guy, the Vikings are really good for a really long time. They re-signed Aaron Jones yesterday. I think JJ up here is light years ahead of some others coming in. And if you read about McCarthy during the season, he was in meetings correcting coaches. Not a great sign for Bears fans. I like JJ McCarthy though. I do. He's one of those guys, like, you kind of show your kids, like, hey, like, check out his pregame routine, the meditation, etc. OD says, I still want the Bears to take the best available offensive or defensive line player. We need to develop in-house young talent. Exactly what I was just saying, OD. Totally agree. My guy, Tom, I would think that winning the offseason beats the hell out of the alternative. Draft now, set up for best available, should be fun. You know what? Wise words from a wise man. We shouldn't poo-poo the idea that you won the offseason. And I'm up here saying, I don't want to hang offseason banners. We shouldn't. But you should acknowledge that the Bears did something that they haven't done recently in free agency. Last year, day one, first move, DeAndre Swift. Huh? None of that this year. No head-scratching move. They addressed positions of need. They've set themselves up well for the coming weeks. Pablo said he's so bummed. I heard they were doing cap impressions this morning on ESPN. They were. I caught them, and I couldn't call in. I had a great one. Not as good as Provasic, but good. I thought it was okay. I thought some of the impressions were good. I thought the segment itself was interesting. The pre-cap. I don't know. Come on over. It's the recap. I think I knew what was going on there. Sarek, still should draft a left tackle or trade down. I don't disagree. I think it's definitely an option. Terry says the Vikings are the Astros of the NFL. Really interesting comp. I don't like them, but they're really good at moves under the radar. Terry, it's a comment of the day. By the way, we should have comment of the day wins a prize. Sounds like a sponsor element. This show we need some. By the way, any of you out there who might own a business, you want to spend some money with the lunch hour? Let's go. Let's spend some money with the lunch hour. Look at Lip Ripper for those in the game. This is why I love him. Now you got me going. Oklahoma State right now, live money line. What's this game? They're down 12. They're 10-1 right now. Oklahoma State down 10-1. I don't know what the box score looks like right now. Is Cincinnati shooting like 100% from the field? That's a surprising score. A lot of people actually thought Oklahoma State was the play because they've played in the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City before, which I think is a BS argument. Cincinnati's shooting 40%. Oklahoma State shooting 38%. I don't think I can join you on this one, Lip. I don't think I can join you on this one, kid. I'm going to keep an eye on it, though. Adrian, you keep attacking the trenches no matter what. Look at Philly. Look at Detroit. Dead on, Adrian. 100%. I tell you, this fingerprints all Ben Johnson, Ryan. This fingerprints all Ben Johnson, Ryan Poles bobblehead now. Yeah. Happy Tuesday to you, Kyle. Excited for the Cubs season opener in Japan a week from today. Like Cap, I love the opening day of baseball. Hey, I love the opening day of baseball and what it means for everybody. Hope springs eternal, even if your team has no hope, like the Chicago White Sox, who just sent Colson Montgomery down to AAA moments before we came on the air. Swayze says Jared had been great for years. Allen has gone up against that guy for years, so he knows him. Awesome pickup. That's the thing here about these older guys that people are complaining about. Oh, he's on the wrong side of 30. We have a guy in Ben Johnson who's innovative as a play caller, and a guy in Dennis Allen who's been a head coach multiple times in the NFL. We haven't had that before. That's where I'm liking the idea. Kyle says, I give Poles and Johnson an A for all the moves they've made so far. Filled many needs and can continue to build in the draft. Get some more line help to build the bullpen of linemen on both sides, bear down. I think what we're going to go back and find this offseason for the Bears was that the two moves they made prior to free agency set the tone for the entire offseason. Trading for Jackson and Tooney changed the entire offseason. It changed free agency. I think it changed the draft. And I'm looking forward to the first veteran minicamp. I am. Bradley, preach, Guff. That's why you should have a new weekly show on ESPN 1000. Bradley, preach. Let's get it over the big Danny Zetterman. Let's go, bud. I appreciate that, though. You know that. As long as it's not during the 12:30 time slot, because that's where my commitment is to you guys. Godfather says, anyone know how to say Ricketts is cheap in Japanese? I don't know how to say it, but I'm sure I can look it up on Google Translate. Who do we take at 10 now, Jimbo? We've been talking about it. I don't know exactly yet, but I'm feeling like best available feels right, or a trade down based off of what's going on above you. And then the Genty thing, like if the Raiders take him, you don't trade up. I don't see a scenario where the Bears trade up right now. By the way, in the section, the guys, the White Sox fans, all of you who are from the 108, I'm the 2 seed in the White Sox Dave bracket of the tournament, which I believe for my bracket is tomorrow. It might be Thursday. I'm going to be asking for your help as we vote and pound X/Twitter to advance to the next round. Lip Ripper. I give the Bears a grading, a solid B so far the offseason moves. It would make it an A if they just announced Arlington Stadium. Well, they could. I think that's definitely coming down the pipeline here for sure. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. By the way, Lip, we're up to 15-1 as a live money line. Oklahoma State's down 15. Looks like we had a missed opportunity in Cincinnati, if you ask me. I almost rode them earlier. They just lost the other day to Oklahoma State. It's probably a reason to back them. Those early tip-off games for tournaments, they're scary. What's up, Eric? Give the Bears an A- regarding their signings yesterday, but we could use another O lineman. Now Poles has a lot of options at 10. That's the best. That's the beauty of this. And my guy Tom earlier said what they've done has set them up very well for the draft. So Guff re-signing Joe Tooney. What's the number he gets? Does his age matter? I don't think the age is going to matter. I think it's probably 20, 3 years, like 2 fully guaranteed type situation. He's coming off of back-to-back All-Pros, and he's the first offensive lineman since Anthony Munoz to receive Offensive Player of the Year votes. That costs money. Jess says, I kind of wish opening day was going to be on Friday with these 70-degree temperatures coming our way. We had that yesterday here. It was unbelievable. Now it's in the 40s again today. But that's the beauty of March. You get the tease. It's still sunny. So you could expect the Vikings, says Erica, to start banging on trash cans and stealing signs soon, since they're the Astros. Well done. Well played. It's probably going to be more through that horn. Who's going to be the starting shortstop for the Sox on opening day? Elvis Andrus is available. You know, it's probably going to be like a Josh Rojas or Lenine Sosa. I actually think that the opening day lineup for the Sox is not going to be all that fan-friendly. You're going to have a lot of veterans in there while we wait for the young guys. I thought Colson Montgomery might be that guy the fans can hang their hat on opening day. The problem is he got injured last week, and I think that set him back. And I think it's a big reason why they're sending him down. I heard a little bit of Chris Getz right before I came on with you, and hopefully it's sooner than later. Terry, the Cubs have never played a more day game than a 5 a.m. start on opening day. Yeah, next Tuesday, guys. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, 5 a.m., the Cubs and Dodgers. I'm sure a lot of you will wake up for that. I will probably turn it on somewhere around the 5th inning. And we will certainly break those games down right here on the Recap Lunch Hour. Look at Dave. Rick is just... Dave, that's a standing ovation, man. Standing ovation. He just got the that's the comment. It's gonna be really tough to top that one. Dustin, I mentioned, should the Bears get him a plug and play third down? I don't hate that. Is it like a 1 for 8? Is it cost more than 8? Maybe it does. I don't know. Ken says, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears still draft O and D line. Amen. I'm totally cool if they only draft those positions, by the way. Godfather, here he comes. Top rope, negativity. After the Bears start 3-5, the O-line will start to look very old. I'm just being honest. Poor Godfather has PTSD. I feel so bad for him. 51 years as a fan of Chicago sports, I believe is what it is. Hang in there, buddy. We got you. In your opinion, Eric, I believe March is the best time of year for sports because of March Madness, NFL free agency, opening day. No doubt, Eric. Joe, with Colson Montgomery, just sent down. Is Jacob Amaya really the starting shortstop? I don't think so. I don't think you can have him be the opening day starting shortstop. I don't. Joe, we'll find out more today. I'll do a little plug-in. Talk to my guy, Scotty Pods, right before I came on here as well. Me, BA, and Pods will be taping a White Sox recap podcast this week, so that should be fun. Lip Ripper, I'm just the dum-dum that sees a juicy money line and has to sprinkle it. No. Lip, one of my favorite things to do is find a juicy halftime money line. But that's why I looked at the box score. If you would have told me Oklahoma State was shooting 24% and Cincinnati was shooting 62%, I'm active. When they're both at the same number, that scares me. So, James says Colson has only had one healthy season since he's been in the organization. I know. He has not played a lot of baseball. Just giving Dave the MVP, it's hard not to after that comment. Breck Bear, doesn't it feel like Rodgers is just the kind of guy to take a huge pay cut to go to the Vikings? For the brand. Yeah, and then kind of pull a Favre, right? After going to the Jets, he comes to the Vikings and just shoves for a few years, plays at an MVP level and goes out, hopefully without the stealing from the university funds, etc. Adrian, I feel for Colson. I got sent down to AAA after being the best hitter. Adrian, are you available to play shortstop for the White Sox? Maybe you're our guy. Dave, thank you. The Japan trip is going to ruin them. The recovery from being in Japan is brutal. Keep in mind, Dave, they got to come back. They're home for 10 days, and they open on the West Coast. So they're not coming here immediately. They're going to be down in Arizona. I was talking about this on the radio on Saturday. I don't love these kind of things, but Bruce made a good point. Bruce Levine, my co-host on Inside the Clubhouse. This is better than the London trip in the middle of the year. I don't mind this. It's it's a week. They leave tonight. They're leaving tonight to go to Japan, and we'll see. I wouldn't lose a lot of sleep if the Dodgers are 2-0 and the Cubs are 0-2, but let's take a look. We can't, a month from now, when they're 15, 20 games in the season, we can't be using this as an excuse why it's Japan. Swayze says PCA looks like the lights turned on for him. Both he and Dansby are my spotlight players, and I'm happy so far. PCA is having a stupid spring. That dude, he is going to be a player. I didn't know if it was going to click. He's got the makeup, but my goodness, his spring, he's just been fantastic. And then, what he's doing on the bases by itself are great. He's hitting .520 in spring. Pete Armstrong is 13 for 25 with 3 homers, 10 RBI, 9 runs, .520 average, 500 on base, 1540 OPS. That'll play. Godfather, on a positive note, PCA may steal 60 bases. And Lip Ripper, you should have a 10 to 15 minute daily gambling show, Gambling Guff. I use you guys for ideas. Okay. I think you guys have had some phenomenal ideas. Jess has had plenty. Lip, you've had some. I know Pablo. I love picking your guys' brains and seeing what you want. I love the idea of a gambling show. We need a gambling sponsor. OD. St. Mary's at +3.5, catching points against the spread after already sweeping Gonzaga in the regular season. I know. I can't figure Gonzaga out either. They were laying 14.5 last night. That game was just kind of against San Francisco, who hasn't beaten them in 33 games or something like that. Last one here, we're going to get to the bet of the day. I will tell you this regarding PCA. If he can become the next leadoff hitter for the Cubs with his speed, look out, he's going to be special. Even without, he's going to be special. All right, let's do it. The bet of the day. So we got hooked last night, okay? Which is going to happen because quite frankly, we used the hook last week when we had that 5-0 week to our advantage. This is going to make you all laugh. I'm going back to the well. Here's why. Youngstown State and Robert Morris have split this year, but Robert Morris has been the best team against the spread, right there with like Florida A&M and who else is up there? I think they're number 1 or number 2. They're 24-8 this year against the spread. I really handicapped a lot of these games today. I was sniffing Kansas State for a while. Only UC San Diego, and Florida A&M are a tick better than Robert Morris, okay? Robert Morris is 24-8 against the spread this year. They're 25-8, and they've won 9 in a row. I think yesterday is what they needed. I think a test. This is what happens in March. You have an under 500 team that makes a run to a championship final. And Oakland, while not making the final, certainly is a team that's familiar with tournament success. And they took our guys, Bobby Moe, to the wire. And they forced overtime. Bobby Moe advances. I think they use that and catapult that to the tournament tonight. Because that's the thing. Robert Morris has to win in order to get into the tournament. I'm doing it. I'm writing it. Hopefully, and you might see this, by the way. You might see this on the bet of the day going forward here as we get into March. Consecutive teams we're betting during conference tournament where you're taking one team and you're riding them. I like teams getting points a lot too this time of year. St. Mary's Zaga over 138, says Lip. Godfather's giving Dave the congrats and thanks that he should be getting. I played semi-pro at IIT. Tell the Sox to give me a call. You're qualified. Terry, thanks so much. Smash the button on your way out if you haven't already, guys. Terry, I appreciate you. Really like that. Game's over 136. I'm assuming you're talking about Robert Morris. Find the teams and ride them. I'm backing the trend here today. They're not. I think they needed a game like yesterday. I do. And if they lose, I think they're going to lose outright. I think we're either running away on this one or Robert Morris packs up their bags and they're going home. I don't think there's an in-between. So I'm riding the Bobby Moe one more time. OD says me too. The gambling stuff gives me a headache. Sports were much simpler in the 60s. By the way, Godfather, people were betting in the 60s. So there it is. We're riding Bobby Moe again. Back on the horse. Hey, take a page from my guy, Chef Paul. Chef Paul bought a point down yesterday. Boom. He cashed. Jess, Robert Morris has gone to the championship before. Their coaching staff experience in this situation. And that's why I'm backing them. They're a veteran-laden team. All right. Another recap bet of the day for you. I'll put it out on socials as well. 31, 28, and 1. It ended a 6 in a row. But hey, we're right where we need to be as March heats up. Appreciate you guys. Take care of each other. Enjoy the sun. A little chilly here. Enjoy the basketball because we got games on right now. Which, by the way, Lip, I'm going to update you. It's a 17-point game in Kansas City. It's been the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff, me, Ryan McGuffey. For everybody at the Recap, we'll do it again tomorrow as we get closer to unveiling the bracket madness and get closer to throwing real first pitch, meaningful baseball in Chicago. And in this case, Japan. Have a great day, everybody. It's the Recap Lunch Hour. We are doing a Recap Rush Hour. Later today, we'll have a Bears recap too from free agency. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan McGuffey. Boom.